He didn't say, if you can, go and make. Are you with me? He said, go therefore, meaning there was even a command to it. Go therefore and make disciples of all nations. So if you're not making disciples, you're in disobedience. Now, the good thing about it is that nobody's under pressure. Like the church will say, how many did you get this week? How many did you disciple this year? There is no pressure. Why is there no pressure? One disciple is valuable. It's too valuable. Are you with me? One disciple is too valuable. It can be equivalent to, I'm not measuring, but I can just say 10,000 believers. If you get one disciple that is properly discipled, and he goes out and begins to disciple, and then he disciple, and the people he disciple, they can make a change in the whole nation. Just do the mathematics. 12 people were discipled by Jesus. One dropped along the way, correct? So graduates were how many? 11. And 11 changed the whole world. 11 turned the whole world upside down. If you go read the Acts of the Apostle, if you know, sometimes we read the Bible and read it in the context of the old age, like it is history. But if you read it and bring it into your reality, it will make more sense. 12 people took the world by storm. Read the Act of the Apostle, you will see they were not just that people were resisting them, they were being killed. Can you imagine? The resistance you're having for doing the gospel is not just that they will affect your money, they will hunt your, make you look bad, blackmail you, give you bad name. That's what we enjoy today, isn't it? They give you bad name, they blackmail you, they gossip you. Compare that to those times, they kill you. They're not gossiping, they kill you. That's what Paul was doing to disciples. He went.
Now they can kill.
In certain countries, yes.
No, even Uganda here.
Who will kill?
There's a pastor they call Sidon. You know, what was his name? Looking for plastic surgery in Israel.
Yeah, but what he might have a quarrel with somebody, but not just the gospel.
No, he was a Muslim who converted.
Of course, that's a different thing. I'm just talking about as Christians, you're just preaching the gospel. The most, incidents happen, even pastors fight each other and try to kill each other, okay? But we're talking in general. Then, being a Christian was a consequence of your life. That's the only job Paul assigned himself before he became Saul. Saul assigned himself before he became Paul. His job was killing. Where are they gathering? He will carry soldiers and go kill them. Now, we have freedom in Uganda, in Africa. We have a background, we have a foundation. The church in this country is more than 100 years in all over Africa. So we have every support we need. Yet, we are not making impact. There is literally no impact of Christianity. Why? Because people are relaxed, at ease in Zion. Everybody need pushing. Go to any church today and find out the leadership, what they do to have a proper church run. There's a whole team planning, strategizing, how to make people do this, how to make people do that. Why would we make people do things? Do you know what happens when you make people do things? Can anyone tell me? When you make people do things, what will happen over the long run? There you go. When you're not there to be making them, they're not going to do it. That's why the principle behind discipleship is that we don't cajole, we don't coerce, we don't make people. We believe that Understanding would quicken you. Knowledge will quicken you. What knowledge? If you want to be a son to God, if you want to manifest sonship, you have to genuinely seek to manifest it. You have to seek God in sincerity. You have to do this not as, remember my popular slogan, we are not doing Christianity. Remember, we are not doing Christianity. We are being Christians. People have done Christianity for too long that now this one voice telling them be, it goes in here, goes out of there. We are so concerned with other issues of life. I remember the post, a wonderful post posted today at the Priest and King, and I expounded on it. Anybody read it? I expounded where the guy says, if you begin to watch how people see you and perceive you and try to please them, you will miss your own destiny. It's on the past platform. And I went there to bring 2 Timothy chapter 2, verse 4, where he says, he that is enlisted in the army is focusing on pleasing him that enlisted him, not the masses. In that case, he called them the civilians. See, he doesn't entangle himself with civilian affairs. Are you with me? The early impact men of God, you can see their sellout was not negotiable. They were sold out to Jesus. They have families, so they have to matter the issues of family. But the family was never in the way of what they were doing. Correct? Are we together? I'm not one of those who say abandon your family and start traveling the whole world doing discipleship. No. Start with your terrain. Start with your environment. If you're making impact in your environment, you can be in your village and your echo will reach the other end of the world. How? You can disciple a student and that student goes for university in another country. And because of what you put in him or her, wherever she is manifesting. Are we together? Gospel is not about physical action. You have to do a physical action, but the real gospel is a spiritual work. And spiritual work is not just what you do carnal. Carnal is necessary because we are physical. But you as a priest and king, I'm underlining what we must do as priests and kings. That's the topic we are dealing with. We are supposed to have finished our discipleship and we are now making impact by having our own following. Am I communicating? You're supposed to be having your own following. Can I make an analogy? Can I make an analogy of what is expected of you as a priest and a king? Let's start with Mr. Benjamin. Benjamin now graduated from discipleship. We put him to be a priest and king, ordain him, and send him forth. Benjamin brings David and begin to nurture David. And David now matures and becomes a son ordained. And what would David do? David comes to Hillary, correct? And he is nurturing Hillary. But when David finished nurturing Hillary, he started nurturing Emmanuel, James, John. So what has happened to you? What has happened to you? You have a kingdom now. Because you nurtured David, David nurtured somebody else, and what do we have? What do we have? A community, correct? Correct? I'm going to do a sample breakdown so that you can pay attention to this important thing. Please come in quickly. Come in. I wanna make I will make an analogy. Come in. We're making the analogy of what I just said for the benefit of them that just came because of the thing I'm going to do so they can follow. We are teaching the next level after discipleship, which is priest and king. Who is a priest and king? What must a priest and king do? And I shared with them that what I noticed is the struggle of the disciples to go out there and do discipleship is because I might have not taught the priest and king a lot. I have been focusing on discipleship. The priest and king is a very long teaching. So it dawned on me that I should actually start teaching the priest and king. Because once you start teaching that, you're supposed to have the impact. Because a priest and a king starts within his home. Okay? So this series of teachings about priest and king, every Saturday we're going to teach. I said if there are more of the new people, we talk about discipleship. But if the old people come, we should talk about what is a priest and king, what must you do, how to become one. And that's where we are. Because I said I felt that I have dwelled on the elementary class, which is discipleship. If you read the priest and king manual, you will see where it says that you must be discipled. You must be taught warfare. You must know how to do deliverance. This is the manual of the priest and king. But how can you do deliverance if you've not been able to even do discipleship? Where there is no consequence. Are we together? Doing discipleship is people who you know, who like you do. There's no danger. But to go to war, spiritual war, is danger. It's not just war. You better live right, because you cannot live wrong and say you're doing deliverance. Do we all agree? Do we all agree? Let me tell you, if you join a deliverance ministry, just joining, you become a target. I hope you guys know, if you're in the Mountain of Fire. Just that you're a Mountain of Fire member makes you a target. To talk of you being a disciple and then now I am going to do deliverance. You declared war on the kingdom of darkness. If you're living a fake life, they will tear you apart. Are you guys understanding? I'm telling you that I told them I was just meditating. What is struggling? Why are the people not able to go to the next level? And me, I'm saying, okay, let me wait. Let them at least do stage 1 before I go to stage 2. If you read it, you see that for you to really be ordained like a pastor, a priest and king, you must have done a deliverance in our program. Go read it. That means if you're saying you're a spiritual warrior, you will do it, we see. So the level where we are, and people think they've arrived, I graduated and I'm okay now. It's just the beginning. And I said it was my fault because I have not dwelled. I have the manual, I shared it. But if you read this manual, you might not understand all the depth on it like the book. This manual is meant to, Pastor Emeka is around or not around, somebody can read it. If they are disciplined, they will be a priest and a king.